If you've spent time on social media, you may have come to the belief that some of the strongest teachers are those that are highly animated, very energetic, entertaining, and constantly on all day. But I have come to believe that some of the strongest teachers are those that are calmer teachers. They weren't the loudest, they weren't the funniest, they weren't the most energetic people in the classroom. They weren't trying to perform all day, every day. They were calm. And their students trusted them because of their calmness, their consistency, and the students knew what to expect from them on a day-by-day basis. So today I want to talk about why I believe that some of the strongest classrooms are built by those teachers that are the calm ones. Hello, if you don't know who I am, my name is Dr. Naisha Cherry, and I am an educator of over 17 years of experience. I'm here to help educators teach well, lead with purpose, and protect their peace. So let's get into it. What do I mean when I say that calm teachers have some of the strongest classrooms? Because yes, a lot of times I am somebody that's energetic, funny, things like that. But that can be tiring and exhausting. And I have learned over the years to calm my demeanor in class. And it wasn't necessarily intentional. It's just that when I left work, I would be so tired because I was always on in the beginning years of my teaching. So as I have shifted my persona as an educator, I've come home with more energy. I'm able to go to the gym after work and all of the things that I like to do. So reason number one, students don't need constant entertainment. I think one of the biggest misconceptions in education is that lessons have to be entertaining. That lessons have to be like a performance every day. And social media often celebrates those teachers who are constantly performing, who are constantly on in the classroom. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that if that's who you are and if that's how you operate. Like I said before, I initially was more like that, but it was draining. It was tiring. And if you felt like your performance did not do the job, then you felt defeated. So I scaled back on being a performer in the classroom. Now, just because you're not performing or entertaining does not mean that your lesson is not engaging. Of course, engagement is top tier. We want our students to be engaged in the lesson and to like learning, to like being in your classroom, but that does not require you to be all over the place. As a teacher leader, I have observed that some of the most engaging classrooms are very calm. Students are engaging in critical thinking. The lessons are interactive. The students are connected to the learning. And like I said, those were some of the calmest classrooms. That's how I began to learn that I didn't have to be so energetic and entertaining as a teacher. Learning does not have to always be loud to be exciting. Students deserve authentic teachers, not performers who are exhausted. 2, emotional regulation starts with the teacher. Students often mimic what they're seeing in the classroom. And if they come into a classroom where we are overly excited, exhausted, they're going to mimic that. If we're calm and collected, they're going to mimic that. We set the example. If we're rushed, students are rushed. If we're anxious, students are anxious. When we're calm in the classroom, we are communicating safety to our students. And of course, this does not mean we won't have those stressful moments. It's about how we respond versus how we react. So it's very key to respond to what's going on, not to react in a way that's rash and hasty. So showing students that we have self-control is a great lesson that they will learn. So it's not always about the reading. It's not always about the math, science, social studies, whatever the content area is. Sometimes it's just about how to regulate your emotions, regulate your responses, being calm in situations that could otherwise be stressful. That is one of the biggest lessons our students can learn from us. Number 3, Calm does not mean boring. Sometimes people confuse being calm with lacking enthusiasm. It's not the same thing. A calm classroom can still be joyful. Students and teachers can laugh, can celebrate, and more. They can collaborate, they can move around, they can ask questions, and all of this can be done in a calming way. The difference is that the energy is intentional, not chaotic. Calm classrooms create the space for our students to think deeply and to participate confidently. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room to have the strongest influence. Calmness speaks volumes and strength. Reason number 4, students thrive with predictable adults. One of the greatest gifts that we can give our students is consistency. Students thrive when they know what to expect, when they know that we're going to greet them and how we're going to greet them in the morning, when they know that whatever they do, if they make a mistake, how we're going to respond to that mistake, how we're going to help them to correct their mistake. They know that our expectations are fair. Those things help our students to thrive. Children feel safer when they trust us and when we are consistent, when they know how we are going to respond to whatever occurs in the classroom. And that's how their trust in us grows, and their trust in the space that we have provided for them grows. When we're consistent, we're creating that emotional consistency for our students, and emotional consistency allows them to learn in their highest capacity. 5, relationships are built through consistency. So as we know, relationships aren't built during one single lesson. It's hundreds of interactions that we have with our students. And when those interactions show consistency over time, the trust is built there and the relationship grows stronger. So showing up the same way day after day, being consistent, being fair, those things help our students to build that trust in us, and it strengthens our relationship with them. The rapport is built and it's sturdy and it's strong. Reason 6, being respected is more important than being liked. All of us teachers want students to enjoy coming to class. That's natural. However, if we're making decisions based on wanting students to be our friends and not wanting to hurt feelings and things like that, then we may be avoiding real conversations that help our students to grow through difficult and trying times, or withholding students accountable. When we have respect in our classroom, that builds stability. And when we have that respect, our students know that our high expectations are there to help them to grow, and they're going to reach for those high expectations. And our students grow to appreciate those teachers who challenge them most. Our goal in the classroom is not popularity, it's positive influence. And 7, your presence sets the emotional tone. If you walk into any classroom, almost immediately you can sense the atmosphere. A teacher's presence has a ripple effect. If we greet students positively and warmly, stay composed when handling situations, respond versus react, and are kind to our students, more than likely our space will be the same way. Most students will emulate what we are showing them. Our presence in the classroom is more than just about our words. It's about how we listen, how we move around the room, how we respond to mistakes, how we celebrate success. Our students more than likely will not remember every lesson that we taught, but they will remember how we made them feel in our classroom environment. And much of that feeling begins with you, the teacher. So if you're naturally outgoing and energetic, awesome. Bring that into your classroom. But if you're naturally calm and steady, wonderful as well. Bring that into the classroom. Don't change who you are as a person when you are being a classroom teacher. Be authentic, be yourself. It's not your personality that makes you a great teacher, it's your consistency. It's showing that you care, it's being present. It's building relationships. Those are the things that carry students long after they leave your classroom. So this year, focus on becoming the teacher whose classroom feels safe and steady and welcoming every single day. Remember, calmness is not weakness, it's leadership. So as usual, please like, comment, and share this video. Subscribe to this channel and hit the bell so that you know when new videos are posted. And they are posted weekly. Tune in, and I'll see you next week on Wednesday. Have a great day, have a great year, and I wish you all the success. Bye-bye.